Yo. James Krause is an innocent man. He's a very innocent man. And if you haven't seen my latest video, go check it out, because that explains why James Krause is an innocent man, or potentially innocent. Potentially. Because we all know the UFC is full of shit. And what Dana White says isn't necessarily what happens anymore. I believe these are fake investigations to make a statement, because that's what the UFC is about. All about statements and making a statement. It's not about catching someone fight fixing. They smell a little bit of suspicion. That's it. They're gone. They cut from the UFC. Never to be seen or heard of ever again. As we saw with Minna. And as we saw with Melina, Krause, all of those guys disappeared from the face of the planet. Well, disappeared from the UFC era. Free James Krause. I miss him, man. I actually miss James Krause. Free the motherfucker. How you doing, Frankie? How you doing, my friend? I wanted to discuss opinions about what's going on with the betting scandal, because, as I told you earlier, I feel like there's something more going on from the UFC. He was I remember getting approached about that group, the Discord group. And this is another thing that doesn't make sense. If he was doing something really dodgy and really suspect, would James Krause be advertising a public Discord? Oh, by the way, I'm fight fixing everyone. Come check out some betting and gambling advice. It wasn't exactly low key. Even my fucking nan wanted getting on there. She had a DM for James Krause slid into her fucking DMs. I just don't believe he was cheating. And I think maybe he had some insider knowledge from, obviously, his own fight team, his own fight camp. But so does every other betting. When did betting become illegal? When fighters couldn't bet on fights? Because before, I'm pretty sure it was that incident that stopped the betting for fighters. When did that actually happen? When did UFC stop fighters betting? October 2022. So it was prior to it was just around the Minna fight. So prior to that, they all had insider fucking knowledge. It is this is my take on it. It's a systemic issue. It's not an individual fighter issue. It's a systemic one. And the Minna thing, it just seemed unjust, because I'm pretty sure a month prior to the Minna fight, TJ Dillashaw fought Aljamain Sterling with a fucked shoulder. He knew the shoulder was dislocated like several times before in his training camps, and he still took the fight, and he lost the fight. The fight, they kept stopping the fight because of how bad the injury was, and then he quit, didn't he, because of the injury? Like, his shoulder was fucked. And they didn't suspend or do anything to TJ, which a friend tells a friend who tells a friend. Exactly. Like I could go to a gym. I could train at any gym where there's a fight team, and I don't think so. I don't think you can train with the fight team, but sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, depending on the gym. I remember I went to AKA in San Jose, DC's gym, and I wanted to train there when I was over there, and I went over, I pulled up, I went, can I fight? Not can I fight? Can I train? And they went, no, the gym's closed to. It's closed to outsiders because the training team, the fight team are training. So they wouldn't allow any outsiders to. I think regulars could still train. Those with memberships who train there regularly could still train, but outsiders could not train during a fight camp. Some teams do, some teams don't. But yeah, I remember. I can't remember who was fighting. Someone was fighting from AKA. Would have been when was that? When did I get married? 2019. I got married in 2019. Someone is going to prison. No one's going to prison. Shotgun. Absolutely no one's going to prison. There's no investigation. I don't think any investigation will be done. It's like the Melina Krause situation. 3 years on, Minna has fought this year. He's had a fight this year. Melina's had no one contact him in 3 years. Not law enforcement, FBI, none of the investigating regulators. No one's contacted him at all. In 3 years. Over 100 fights from this year alone have been flagged by the FBI. I'm not denying that it doesn't happen, but I don't think anyone will go to prison. And apparently the 100 fights thing is a load of shit. That is just circulating bullshit from what I've heard. I don't know if it was Alwani. I don't know if it was Alwani or... So someone debunked it. But the 100 fights is bullshit. That news that's been going around. Yeah, I think the source on that one is questionable. What's happened is UFC, Dana White, have kicked up a load of shit over this. A load of sources, different sources have come out saying different things, and a lot of fake news is spreading within that. Okay. Which fucking Harry Mack is it? Fucking Twitter's full of shit. Harry Mack MMA. What was the original story that he broke? What did he say? Okay, federal regulators have flagged over 100 fights this year for abnormal betting patterns, including 2 additional fighters on last night's card. Shit is about to get very ugly. Still working to confirm, but it sounds like the feds are moving to audit Herzog's fights. So, where's he got this information from? And secondly, he's still not confirmed it. It's not confirmed. And who the fuck? How legitimate is Harry Mack? From someone who says MMA in general buffoonery. Okay, I've now spoken with a handful of UFC employees in a few different parts of the business. Notably, as of last night, there has been zero internal communication from the UFC staff. They've given broadcast talent zero direction and guardrails. That's bullshit. The real problem is that these fighters get paid so poorly that they're going to get tempted. Yeah, I know Ariel confirmed it, but I still don't. I think the angle that everyone's getting is wrong. I do think it's wrong. Shotgun, you've got to think how fucking crazy is Bulgarian got to be that the president of your company phones you up and says, "Are you going to throw the fight? I've been flagged. Do you owe anyone money? Are you being threatened?" No, I'm fine. I'm fine, Mr. President. And then you go and throw that fucking fight. I think I just so how mad have you got to be? You've got to think how fucking mad have you got to be that you would do that. This is why none of it makes sense. And all these people like spreading this story. Where is the realism in that? Oh, I rang Bulgarian and true shotgun, true. I forgot about that, didn't I? Yeah, true. You make a good point. You make a good, but don't make that point on my latest video. So you think he was being threatened by someone? Impossible to stop insiders on this. That's another issue. Well, there's a big systemic issue, isn't there? Shotgun. I mean, so I don't trust anything that the UFC say, first of all. And why would they cut him the next day? Well, they've cut many people for like if you go back to the Molina, Krause, how they put a blanket ban on everyone at the Krause gym, and still 3 years later we've got no further in the investigation, and it's not been proven whether they were cheating or not, or whether they did. He got suspended for having an injury. That's how they got him. It was through not disclosing the fucking injury, even though many fighters don't disclose injuries. I'm not going to disagree fully with you, but there's something bigger for me that just does not feel right. That the UFC, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. You know what's crazy? If he would have told Dana, Dana would have helped him out. Remember, the mafia owns the UFC. I don't think anyone's helping Bulgarian. If it's true, and Bulgarian has been threatened into, fixing a fight and throwing the fight, then he was in a lose-lose situation when Dana White probably phoned him. But you'd think, if someone's onto you, you'd phone the people who are threatening you and say, listen, Dana White has phoned me up and he said, I know you're going through this fight, or I've got a suspicion you're going through this fight. I won't throw this fight, but I'll throw my next one. That's what you'd do. If you were in cahoots with a fucking the cartel or someone, and the cartel were going to slay your family and kill you, you'd say, listen, I'll throw the next fight. I'll throw the next fight. They've cut people before. Look at a situation that no one fucking agrees with me on. But Igor Severino was a rising prospect, a very good rising prospect, and Andre Lima did nothing but cheat, and they cut Igor Severino for biting him because of optics. It's all about optics with the UFC right now. The in the corporate growth era, and if they do not maintain this fucking how everything looks, how protect the brand at all costs. That's what it is. They will cut anyone at any time for any given god reason. If it's to protect the brand, that's what they'll do. It doesn't matter what happens. They'll always protect the brand over any fighter. There'll be another Bulgarian. There'll be another rising prospect. Like Igor Severino got done dirty. He got done really dirty. The referee didn't protect him, even though Lima was cheating the entire fight, grabbing the fence, poking him. Fucking, he was a dirty little cheat. You said that quote though, Shotgun. He didn't even fight the hands when in the choke, proper white belt stuff, because this is part of the issue is everyone's regurgitating what DC and all these little clips that saying he wasn't fighting the hands. Go watch it back. He was stripping the top hand. He stripped the top hand, the top choke several times. And granted, he wasn't defending it the best he could have, the most efficient, but DC, it was almost like DC was told to push that narrative. Like, when did the UFC say that? There's loads of fighters, because I say every single fucking week, because I have a go at the nearest, I'm shouting on the fucking settee why UFC fighters get choked out on a rear naked choke, because none of them ever fight the fucking hands. It's not a new thing. And DC and Chael Sonnen have been raving all week and all weekend going, oh, it's madness. We never see this in the UFC. We see it every single fucking week. Every single fucking week, you see one fucking pleb who doesn't fight the fucking hands. It does me nothing. Michael, isn't that to do with Dana White's past? Like when he was in Boston, didn't he fall out with the mafia? I don't know if they fucking own it. With an Edgar, what's a fucking Edgar, man? What's a fucking Edgar? Is that a type of haircut? Oh, the Furtatas are literally a mafia family. The whole of Vegas was built on mob money. Yeah, true. But is there a particular family? The is it Furtatas? Fertitas? The Fertitas? Are they a mob family then? The Fertitas. What mob family do they come from? Oh, I'm not going to fucking look into that. Whitey Bulger, that was it. I remember that. Yeah, that's what I mean. If he told Dana the situation, believe me, he would have pulled out. He would have been pulled out, and it would get settled out of the news. You see how they saved. Nah, honestly, everyone thinks that Dana is a nice guy. Dana White is a fucking sociopath. Did you see the shit he said about his own family? The fact that he slapped his own wife. The fact that he beds fucking prostitutes. Like, is everyone under this illusion that Dana White is a nice guy? Because he's not. There's no way. If Bulgarian was getting threatened and he turned to Dana White and went, Dana, I'm getting threatened, Dana would have still cut him. He would have said, you're gone, mate. I'm pulling you from the fight and you're not getting another fight with me. Right, Tyler. Are they one of the big ones though? Weren't there four? What was like? There was four big mafia families in New York, weren't there? What were the four families? Oh, five. Sorry, five. Gambino, Genovese, Lucchesi, Colombo, Bonanno. Oh, so they weren't one of them. But yeah. Dana had to go to the mob to get another mob off his back. Dana's a snake. Dana's a snake and a snitch. Also a snitch. Dana's mother hated him. She wrote a book about how bad he is. Yeah, because I think he is a fucking sociopath. Didn't his mom actually talk about how much of a narcissistic person he is? Final boss? No, I'm not the final boss, am I? I know they've cut my fringe like proper fucking square, and it pisses me off. It didn't look like this originally, and now it's grown out. It looks fucking ridiculous. It's not being nice. It's business. Have you ever fought with the underground world? That's how they work. I have. In what sense though? Because I would not. I don't feel like that's how it works. And I'd get it if Dulgarian was like a big fighter, you know, like one of the stars of the business. But the fucking foot soldier at the bottom of the pile, you're not going stick life and limb out for them. You'd just cut him. You'd cut him from the UFC. And Dana's not a stupid guy. Dana gets wind of all of this before the fight takes place. He gets told there's, something's not right here. It's not right. And he allowed the fight to continue. I don't think that's the case. I didn't ask for the final boss. I did not ask for the final boss. Fucking hell, man. I'm going to have to get my hair cut now. I would never ask for this. What's the fucking Edgar cut? What about Frankie Edgar? What the fuck? Oh, is this what it's actually called? What the fuck? That is what I got. I got the fucking Edgar cut. I didn't ask for the fucking Edgar cut. Fuck me. I did not ask for this at all. Am I arguing that the Dalgarian loss wasn't rigged? I think what I'm arguing is I don't think the UFC care whether it was rigged or not, and they go make an example of Dulgarian without any investigation, without any criminal investigation, and I don't think anything will come of it, like the Minna, Molina, and Krause situation. 3 years on, and neither of them, not one person, is being charged with anything criminal. Have we had any response from Dulgarian at this point or not? Has anything come out from his side or not? And watch Dulgarian's first takedown attempt. He was shamming. Alright, I'm going to rewatch the fight. First of all, many fighters can have really shit performances without throwing a fight. If anyone's going to question any fight that was thrown, look at Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler, the rematch. If any fight was thrown, it was the fucking Nick Diaz fight. No one questioned that. I mean, I'm watching the takedown attempt. He shoots a good. He shoots the takedown from a good position. He gets both legs, and Dalval just does a good fucking job of scrambling and then sprawling. I don't know. You can look at it in two views. You can look at it with all the optics of everyone saying, well, this fight was fixed. It's obviously going to look fixed. Yeah, but pair that with DC straight up throwing him under the bus. Like, the commentary on that fight was absolutely fucking ridiculous. Dana gave him a chance to pull out. That was his chance to explain the situation. He may have been cut, but they could have had a conversation with the group and things would have got a lot smoother than this. Yeah, but like I was saying though, how dumb have you got to be to then have a call from Dana White, the president of the UFC, and then go out there and throw the fight? I don't know. It just there's something there's too many things that were there prior to this happening. 16 million bet on an Apex prelim of a nothing card that nobody was watching. Super sus. Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying that isn't sus. Is that the numbers then? 16 million. Don't get me wrong. I think there's many UFC rig fights. I'm not saying that there's no rigged UFC fights. I have a theory on how they even fucking coordinate these fixed fights. And I'm not saying this isn't fixed. I'm just saying the UFC don't care whether it was fixed. That is what I'm saying. They don't care whether this fight was fixed or not fixed. They go and throw Bulgarian under a bus, even though the UFC probably know of legitimate fights that have been fixed, and they've not said a fucking word. That is the point I'm making, I think. Well, it is the point I'm making. Yeah, if that's what happened. But Michael, what you're doing now is speculating. You're speculating that he was threatened. You're speculating. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that couldn't have happened. But what you're doing is speculating and going on facts. The 16 million thing. That is a fact. Is that a fact that's out there? Was it 60 million that's been bet on that fight? Then yeah, that is super fucking weird. But it's super fucking weird that you'd still throw a fight after, you know, your boss calls you up. And it's super weird that DC and Chael Sonnen, you know, the usual UFC muppets, the puppets that have started weighing in on this before I think they should have. Vast majority was bet like an hour before for Bulgarian to be finished in first round while he was a big favourite. Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree. could be fixed. It could be a fixed fight. I mean, and it's definitely looking that way. It's definitely looking that way. But I can guarantee the UFC know of many fixed fights, and they've not even mentioned them. But because of the betting lines on this one, this is why Dolgarian's getting thrown under the bus. Yeah, but that is speculation, Shotgun. I'm not. Michael is right, yeah, and he is right. If you report it to the authorities, they can't protect you 24/7. That would be an horrific situation to be in. It would be a terrible situation to be in if that's true. That part is speculation, so we can't base anything off that, because that is speculation. No one knows if Dolgarian was threatened or his family were threatened. We don't know if he threw the fight for himself, whether he threw the fight or not. We're still, it's speculation. Maybe he's got an injury. Everyone's going down that route that he threw the fight because for money, for he was getting threatened. But what if he just had a fucking injury and he just couldn't be asked to fight? Or maybe he put money on himself losing. Who knows? It's like attacking someone, being hit back, and calling old Bill. No, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying it's definite, but until there's like everyone in the MMA world, they can't keep like an open mind. I'm not saying that it wasn't a fixed fight, but you've got to keep an open mind that there's more to this. Yeah, no one's being found guilty. The last time that we had a betting scandal 3 years ago, no one got found guilty. No criminal investigation was done, and it's still not concluded. Like, it doesn't take 3 years to wrap up a fucking investigation. And what's weird about this investigation that the UFC are saying is happening for the Krause situation, Minna, Krause, and Molina, not one of them have spoken to the FBI. No law enforcement have contacted them. No one's contacted them. It's weird. It is weird. How is Herzog under investigation and Migliotta isn't? Again, the Herzog thing, it's speculation. Nothing's being confirmed. We're going by the tweet of one person, like, who is openly admitted he's not confirmed the details. Like, we can't until that's. I don't buy it. But to be fair, all the refs should be under investigation. They should be held more accountable, which is a commission thing. The commissions aren't holding referees accountable, and it wouldn't surprise me if refs are fixing fights. That is the one part where I'm like, if there's going to be fight fixing, it's going to be in the refs. That's where the majority of fight fixing would be for me. The decisions and weird outcomes that we've had from referees, and the inconsistency of reffing is stupidly weird. I'd say there's at least 2 or 3 fucking refs, that are on someone's paybook. At least 2 or 3 refs. Yeah, it does actually. The NBA betting scandal just got wrapped up and it took 4 years. Fucking hell. Fair enough. Yeah, but in 4 years, you'd imagine they'd be speaking to these people. In 3 years, you've not been spoken to. I don't know. I don't know. Judging has been horrific since the beginning, and it's only got worse since they've got Sal D'Amato. D'Amato, is it Sal D'Amato? D'Amato? Whatever his fucking name is. Sal D'Amato. The fucking boxing judge. Sal Di Mato. Yeah, I think the refs need to be held accountable. They need to be investigated. Sal Tomato. It does take 3 years on the federal level. They watched me for 3 years. I went to jail and stopped for a year. And the feds picked up my case and told me they'd been looking at me for 3 years. Fair enough. Fair enough. Michael, though, you said they watched you for 3 years. Were you, at what point were you aware of them watching you for 3 years? Were you aware in those 3 years, or was the moment that you found out when you got arrested, when you went to jail? Because there's a difference of them investigating when you're unaware because they're trying to build a case against you. When you're aware that there's an investigation going on, or something's gone on, surely at some point they would interview you. At some point they would seize your mobile phones, your technology. They would pull these items from your house to aid the investigation. Something doesn't. I don't know. That I get it if they're doing an investigation on someone who is not aware that they are being investigated and they're following them, they're building up a case. But when someone is aware that they've done something and the FBI have been involved or they've been called, surely at some point they interview that person. Surely at some point in a 3-year time span that they pull that person in and go, you know what? We need to have a chat. Can you hand over your devices? We're going to scan your devices. You're right, Westy. How you doing, brother? If you get wind of being watched, you stop. Mike didn't know prior. Exactly. So that's my point. Exactly. Like the investigation that's going on with Melina and Minna, they knew about it. So surely there's more emphasis on interviewing them to aid the investigation. It'd be very different if they were like, they didn't know and the FBI were doing an investigation on them. But Dana White, like this now, Dana White's already gone to the FBI. He's publicly announced it, which again is weird that he's publicly announced that he's gone to the FBI. Like, surely the FBI would be like, listen, don't tell Bulgarian that you've come to the FBI because we're going to do an investigation now and we don't want you to speak about it. So don't be publicly announcing that you've gone to the FBI. Snitch Dana White, like the snitch that he is, straight away publicly announces that he's gone to the FBI. So straight away, it's about optics. It's not about an investigation. When I was on probation on the state level, back to being a normal guy, they just raided my house and took me in. And that's when I was told they let you continue and call off local authorities to build. But that's different to what's going on here then, Mike. So it's a different thing that's happening. Which what you're saying is right. Then it's different for this case. Dulgarian now knows. So Molina and Krause and Minna, they all knew. It's about keeping sponsors, protecting the worth value of UFC, I assume. Exactly that. Exactly that, God of Frogs. It's about who are the biggest sponsors of the UFC? Betting companies. If the UFC get found out, or they get a fighter that gets caught fixing fights, it damages their reputation beyond repair. Like, they'll lose sponsors. They could, the betting on the UFC could get suspended, and it could even get permanently stopped. So are they going to risk that? No. They don't care whether Dulgarian's innocent or not. They don't care whether any fighter's innocent or not. And I'm not. This isn't saying that no fights are fixed. Of course, fights are going to be fixed. It's you cannot stop that happening. You can't stop. It's a systemic issue. And what the UFC are trying to do is hide the fact that it's a systemic issue, and they'll just punish the individual. BJ Penn arrested. It's sad, but BJ Penn charged with alleged assault of 45. Oh my God, he's ruined his career, hasn't he? BJ Penn was one of my favorite fighters, but I don't think I can stand by him anymore. Why police arrested and charged former UFC 2 division champion 46-year-old BJ Penn with third-degree assault following an incident early Tuesday morning. In the US, what does first, third, second-degree assault? We have grievously body arm and actual body arm. We don't have these third-degree shit. Why should get that guy into some counselling? I think it's a bit too late for that. There's no count. He's got CTE. His head's gone. He is a legend, man. He's still a legend. He's just a very fucked up legend that's ruined his reputation from having CTE. Police responded at 1 a.m. to reports of an assault at a residence on Kanoa Street. A 45-year-old man told authorities that Penn reportedly punched and kicked him multiple times before he was able to get out of the situation, leave the area, and contact police. The man later sought medical treatment for his injuries. Officers located Penn at 11:50 a.m. in Luha Street, where he was arrested without incident. He went quietly. Mike, it definitely is CTE. It definitely is CTE. He has more than CTE. He's methed out. I mean, he might be taking the meth to try to medicate his fucking brain damage, man. It was like, what's his fucking name? Bonner. Wasn't Bonner doing drugs around the time that he ended up dying? BJ has Capgras syndrome. Thinks his family are... Is that what it's called? Is that an actual thing? Capgras syndrome is a rare delusional disorder where a person mistakenly believes that a familiar person as being replaced by an identical imposter. Is that caused? Causes it? Underlying psychiatric disorders is often associated with other psychiatric conditions like schizophrenia. Is that caused from CTE? Yes, it can be associated with brain injuries and traumatic injuries and CTE. Sad, man. Sad, man. Imagine giving your life to a sport and then you just end up like a fucking mong. BJ's honest. It's also Meth Tekker's mate. BJ should have stayed quiet and just did fan signings, selling merch and photos, just collecting money would be better than this. It would. He can't help it though, can he? It's brain damage, man. It's brain damage. My nurse, she works on the brain injury. She's a sister. She's a brain specialist nurse, and she deals with people like this all the time. Like people who've had brain injuries come in and they're so fucked up and violent all the time. They're so messed up, and this is like people who've just like smacked the head once. So imagine you've got a lifetime of brain injuries. It's going to leave you messed up. First, second degree involve a weapon and severity. Third degree is least severe and no weapon. Oh, thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so basically, BJ Penn is a bit of a pussy. Is that what you're telling me? Third degree assault. He didn't even do any damage. It's just third degree assault. It's the shittest one. Guru trying to squash beef with Ariel. Ariel compared Guru to Moneyberg when he mentioned it. Is that... Yeah, because in Guru begging Ariel for like come on his show now or something. Imagine going from the point where you really dislike the guy and call him everything under the sun, and then the next minute you're begging to go on his show. But this is the thing with Guru. There's no... Guru's got no real animosity. He just says absurd things to get under people's skin and get views. He knows how to play YouTube. He's a master at manipulating his fan base, and he's a master at manipulating people within the MMA community. He's good at it. He's fucking really good at it. He does what he does to get money. I don't think he cares otherwise. It would be quite interesting. I'd like it to happen, Guru on Alwani's show, because from Guru's perspective, I don't think Guru gives any kind of fucks about anything that he says. I don't think he has any real malice or anything in anything. It's just Ariel really did not like Guru for saying what he said. Oh no, Tom did nothing wrong, guys. How dare you say anything like he quit whilst Guru spreads misinformation about another man's sexuality. True. True. On almost a monthly basis. But Guru don't give a fuck. Guru trying to go on Theo Von to save Tom's eye poke narrative. I mean, Tom Aspinall is not needed to do anything. Guru is completely taken over the narrative and spun it for him, and he's just sat back and thought, you know what, Guru's got this shit. Imagine Guru goes on Ariel and Ariel eviscerates him after collecting info for the last 4 years. I'd kind of like to see that, you know. I would kind of like to see that. And there's part of me that thinks Guru might duck going on Alwani's show. And what Guru's doing right now is he's clever. He's a clever guy. What he'll do is he'll put out there that he wants to go on Alwani's show. And then if Alwani does reach out to him, he'll just pretend to not, you know. I don't think Alwani will go reach out to him, to be honest. But if his team do reach out to him, the Guru will come up with a reason not to go on that show. It's like when Goddard called him out, didn't he? Goddard asked him to come down the gym, and Guru didn't go down. He didn't go down. He got offered, and he turned that shit down. Guru lit Pseudo up for the eye poke. He changed his tune when Tom, while the Saudis have a fighter with one eye getting his ass kicked against anyone good. The reason is, Stephen, is Guru will go
with whatever narrative he wants to go with, and he will be hypocritical because he doesn't really care. He follows the narrative that will get him the views and clicks. He won't follow the true narrative or the right narrative. He follows the narrative that suits him, which is fair play because he's entertainment. I think this is where a lot of people with Guru, a lot of people take him too seriously when really he's entertainment. He's not. He calls himself MMA media these days, and he's not really MMA media. I mean, he is, but he's somewhere in between. He's entertainment, he's media, he's entertainment. I mean, his MMA knowledge is pretty fucking good. Guru is getting awfully friendly with Mighty Mouse. Do you think? Do you think there's something there, Leandro? I mean, up until that Asbullah video, though, I mean, the Asbullah video was weird, wasn't it? Like, but maybe he's just got a massive fucking schlong. Maybe he's just got a massive dick. How is that a terrible comparison, though, Techers? Comparing, like, how is that? Are you saying basically because he's adjusted to fighting with one eye, and he actively fights with one eye, and he actively trains with one eye, that he's less of at a disadvantage? The fact is, he still fights with one eye. Like, he's still at a disadvantage in every fight. But I see your point. I do see your point. But he's still at a disadvantage in every fight. I'm starting to draw up some fan fiction between Guru and Mighty Mouse. Oh, fucking hell. That's... What kind? Like, what kind of fucking fan fiction? Waldo took away his eye poke and still continued. Well, I made a video on that shit. Even the comedy show when he was with blue eyes. Come on now, fellas. Being poked in the eye in the moment in pain or having just one eye. Yeah. There is a difference. I'll give you that. There is a difference, but you're a fucking fighter. First of all, your adrenaline will be going. And then, how do you not see that, mate? One of your eyes stopped working. I don't know. Some people can do it, some people can't. You're right, Cheddar Red. How you doing, brother? How you doing? What are you two chatting about now? What are you chatting shit about? What time we're on? Right, boys. I'm going to love you and leave you on that note because my time here is done. I'll answer these last two. A party's pinky in the edge of your eye or double eye gouge, knuckle deep. What doing here? Denying reality. I mean, many fighters carry on. Like, just I don't know. We all know why it is. He quit. It doesn't matter how it happened. It's still an injury. An injury is an injury. Doesn't matter how it happened. Some people quit. Some people don't. Tom Aspinall quit. Heavyweight division such shit. I actually think the heavyweight boxers could cross over and maybe win the belt. AJ Wilder could probably win a belt. I think you're going a bit too far there. I think you're going a bit too far there. Anyway, guys, appreciate you joining as always.